Although war creates destruction, it also creates many records that are a real boost for genealogists. Military records are found at the federal, state, and local county level. The availability of service and pension records are depending on the war or the conflict. The very first thing before you dive into all of this is to find out, I'm going to back up here. The first thing to know is information about your ancestor is possible when getting into research the records. Name, a full name, a nickname, an alias, the birth year and place your ancestor lived during a particular conflict. Search your home and those of your relatives for sources as like photographs, discharge papers, medals, diaries, letters, newspaper articles, and other items about your ancestor, because the information found in these will lead you to the records you want to find in other sources. The very first thing then to do is to determine which conflicts your ancestor may have served. And there is a nice little handy chart on Family Search, which I'm in right now. So this is the Family Search homepage. Under the tab at the top, I'm going down to the Research Wiki. Okay, research, there we go. In the search bar, just going to type United States, and as soon as I type that, it'll come up with some things. United Military Records. So this is kind of a guide to finding out about military records. There's information at the bottom on how to begin, little tips to help you get going. But right now I'm going to start with ages of servicemen. So under this left sidebar, that's where I'm going to start, because I need to know my ancestor now that I know the birth year and possibly where they lived. I can determine which war or conflict they could have participated in. So this is the duration of each conflict, the typical years of a birth, and the typical ages. And you notice for most of these, it's age 16 until we get up to World War I, when it turns to 18. So some of our ancestors were pretty young, and we know that some of them probably lied about their age so that they could participate. So this form is in the Family Search Wiki under Military Records. It's really important to start with that. Also, if you're ready to start with a particular state, you already know that you want to start with that, you can, oh dear goodness. Get rid of that. You can just click on state records, and there's your list of states, and you can go to those. But we're not going to do that right now. Sorry. Again, there's a lot of information, lots and lots of information. So in your handout on that first page, it's just a list of examples of the types of records that you can find online. And I'm just going to go through each of them briefly to just show you how I get to them. The easiest ones to find, the easiest places to find information are the three biggies: Family Search, Ancestry, and Fold 3 are the biggies. So that's what I'll be concentrating on, but I will touch a little bit on some of these other sites as well because they're so interesting. So I'm going to go over to Ancestry. And here's the search bar at the top, just like there was at Family Search. Hit the search, and this has categories. So I'm going to go right to military. This is the page for military records. On the right sidebar, you can narrow by category. I'm going to go down to the featured data collections and go to, we're talking about draft registration cards here. And so I'm going to go to World War I draft registration cards and simply type in my ancestor's name. Or my husband's, I should say. That's all I'm going to do. I'm not going to put birth, year, anything. Just hit the search button. Then you have your list, even though I spelled it wrong. Okay, somebody's not on mute. Where do I find it? If you have not muted your microphone, please do that now, because I hear somebody. So here are the records that are possible for my ancestor. I know my ancestor's birth date, and I know where he lived. So I know that's the first one. Hit View Record. It's coming. And this information from his World War I draft card gives a physical description, as well as his birth date, his residence date, what county, and his nearest relative. You can search on the exact image and see how it was originally written. If it's not too bad. And I like to see these, the real images, because I like to see their own signature. It's just interesting to me. It's nice to see a signature. This one also shows the present occupation. I don't know exactly what that means, but now I'm going to do the same thing on family search. Well, I'm going to do it a little differently. I'm going to the state records. I'm going to click Iowa. I'm going to click World War I, because here's the contents. This is all of this page is all about Iowa military records, but I want World War I. And then the nice thing about family search is they give you the collections or the items and tell you where they can be found. For instance, here's one that's on a film with the Mormon Church Library or the Family Search Library. I'm looking for World War I draft registration cards, and it takes me to the search page. Gives a nice little description of what they are and how they're arranged, when it started, etc. Some little background information. Loa Gorman, I believe you are not muted. Can you please mute your mic?
How do I do that?
Down at the bottom, there should be a word that says audio, a little arrow. Or I think if you just hit audio, doesn't it mute? Just touch the audio button and it should mute you. I can do it, but how do I just get out of all this? Stop share? How do I get back to just, I'm afraid to do something. Maybe if I do that. Oh, no, that did not work. Oh, there we go. Okay, I got it. Okay, now how do I get back, tech person?
At the top.
Oh, resume share. Okay. Thank you. Takes a village. Takes a village. Okay. This is my grandfather now. Type a little more. 19. Okay, and this is how the results come up on Family Search. I know this is the only one. This is the only one with this name in Monroe County, Iowa, and that he was born in Illinois. So I'm going to click on him. And this was what helped our family figure out why my nieces both had red hair. Because nobody that we knew of in either side of the family had red hair. But here we go. Can we make it big? Color of hair, red. This is my grandpa, so the girl's great grandpa. So now we knew. Because nobody had ever seen that was alive that knew he had red hair. Okay, moving on. So that's the draft cards. And again, on the right side, every time you go to these records, it'll say something like similar records, or on Ancestry, it'll say suggested records on the right, and it's going to give you more info, like it's probably going to show his World War II somewhere. Yeah, see, there's his World War II draft registration card. So you just really have to look around the page. They're giving you hints, they're giving you clues, but you got to look to find them. Okay. For service records, no, go away. Thank you. Fold 3, you pay for it to be, if you want to, on Ancestry. But it says, go ahead.
It's free this weekend for Memorial Day and it's through Tuesday.
So this site is free through Tuesday because of Memorial Day. So if you are at home and you want to search Fold 3, now's the time to do it.
You probably have to be an Ancestry.
Oh,
Yeah.
you have to go through Ancestry. Okay, you can't just go to it. Okay. I'm getting in different information here. Okay, so Fold 3, nice, it's only military stuff. Discover your military ancestors. And on this one, I'm going to go to the particular war or conflict that I want. This time I want to search Revolutionary War service records. And as soon as I've clicked on that, I'm going to go right to my ancestor, just his name, hit the search bar button. This is telling me my searchers are his name, Revolutionary War, and in the United States. So these are, I'm just going to click on the first one. This is a nice little summary in the Massachusetts soldiers. Get rid of this. I know he was from Sutton, so I'm going to look at this one, and it describes who he's fighting with. Continental Army pay accounts for service, descriptive list of men, 3 miles from West Point. He's age 45, he's 5'10", his complexion is dark, hair dark, occupation, cordwainer, don't know what that is, residence Sutton, and when he enlisted, and who he's fighting with. So that's just a nice little paragraph that came right up about my many times ancestor Daniel Dyke. Some more service records. I'm going back to Ancestry. I'm jumping around just because I want to show you how to navigate on the different sites. I'm going back up to the search. I'm going to start over with military. And no. Not now, please. Now I'm going to narrow it by the category. So we've already looked at draft, but I'm going to, this also includes enlistment and service. So I want to get a service record. So I'm going to hit that. And again, I'm going to look at this featured data collections, and I want World War II enlistment records. And you can see here, there's other things here. There's a lot for you to explore when you get home. And, okay. Again, I'm going to type a name. And that's all I'm going to put is his name. So far, that's all I've had to put in any of these. So it saves some time. Okay. This is not the one I wanted. I need to do it. I need to filter it some more. If it's not giving me what I want, I can go to the left. These are filters. So I've already filtered military in the draft in North America, but I need to filter by Iowa. So I need to click USA, and then I need to find Iowa. Where are you, Iowa? There. Nope, not Arkansas. That's the trouble with the There we go, Lynn County, Iowa. So having those filters on the left made a difference in this search. And here's his information. And I like this. It shows he's had 1 year of college. This is his civil occupation. He enlisted at Fort Des Moines. And his branch and component. Again, his height and weight. So you get a lot of information right there in that service record. Okay, my ancestry. I'm going back each time because that's what we start with. Now I want, oh, nope. Now I'm going to go to card catalog. This is a different way to find things. Same place on Ancestry, but now the card catalog. And I want to filter over here on the left side. That is really blurry, isn't it? I guess that's as good as it's going to get. I'm going to filter by military. And by location, there's a USA, and I want Massachusetts. Show more. This is why you need to have that basic information for your ancestor first. And then actually see what I want up here already. I was going to type in the keyword Revolutionary War, but this is what I want. The Massachusetts U.S. soldiers and sailors in the Revolutionary War is a really good source. So that's what we're going to do. And again, I'm just going to see if it works with just his name. And I know he's from Greenwich, so I can view this record. And here's a nice little description like we found on that other source. Even though they spell his last name wrong, it gives a description, who he's working or who he's with, the days where they went, when he was discharged, he fought for 1 month and 9 days. This kind of information if you are interested in that. Okay, now for some state, that obviously was Massachusetts, but we'll try another way to do this. It's not liking me going back. There we go. On this search, I'm going to go to the featured data collections, and I want to know about Civil War soldiers. So here's U.S. Civil War. And that's not him. He was from Vermont, so I can go down to this Vermont one. I know he was in the 6th Regiment. I already knew that because I'd looked, but if you didn't know, I would look at the state to give you the clue. And the nice thing about this particular source is you can click on learn more about this regiment, and it will, I mean, we're not going to go through it all, but it's a very lengthy description of everything they did. You know, every battle, every place they went, how long they stayed. It's very detailed. So if you wanted to see that, I mean, this goes on and on and on.
Can I ask a
Yeah,
question?
yeah.
If you had someone killed in service in Europe in World War II, do you think in that drill down, you could find where the body was kept for many years until it was brought back to the United States?
For World War II, I don't know.
Okay.
That's a good
I
question.
wasn't sure how deep that would drive. I'll try it when I
Let's
get
look,
home.
when we get to the casualties, maybe we can, well, this is World War II we'll look on this one because it's coming up. Okay, so we're gonna get, now we're gonna go to fold 3 and look at something else. Now we're into pensions. So, how do I get home? Okay. U.S. Revolutionary War and pensions. Okay, here we're at fold 3. On the left side, we've got already checked the box, the Revolutionary War. I want to go down to publications, and I want to see this Revolutionary War pensions. So I'm going to click that, and then it's still got my old Daniel Dyke in there. So up here in this white space in the search bar, I'm going to type a different name. No, it went away. Guess I have to click the search button. Okay. It's not even thinking. Oh, let's try that. There we go. So this says 24 pages. So this is, you know, honestly, I haven't looked at most of this, but the 7th one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this one, gives some information. So this is from a Miss Lena Wheeler in Portland, Oregon, about somebody who's requesting information about Ansel Harlow, my ancestor, who served in the Revolutionary War. And so this is information that this person has on his pension claims, where he was born, the names of his parents are 9 months, et cetera, et cetera. I'm not going to read all of this, but his application was made in the 89th year of his age and when he died. And here's the surviving children. So see, this gives some children's names and where they are. So this is a really important one. Of course, I had to look through all the other pages to find this one, but you know, it's time consuming, but you're going to find some pretty cool information. And that's a pension record. Now for pension records in Ancestry, I'm just going back to the military home each time. On the right, here's the categories. This is Ancestry now, and there it is, pension records. So the same thing, you're going to type a name and do a search. I'm not going to do this one because I think you get the idea. Okay. Now, the next is casualties. And I'm just going to go back. And there's casualties under the category. Let's see. And here, if you were interested, these are the featured data collections about casualties. So there's grave sites, rosters of World War II dead, blah, blah, blah. Soldiers died in the Great War, various things that you can view. I'm just going to type in my great uncle or grand uncle. And what came up when I searched for him was a couple things. So I know this is him because he was from Michigan. This is the United States Headstone and Interment Records on foreign soil, because I know he died in France. So this led me to all sorts of other things. So just from that, I found he was a corporal. He got a medal. I don't speak French, so I'm not going to try to pronounce it. This was his unit. He was with the Marine Corps. It was World War I. He died in France on that date, and he's on the tablets of the missing in this cemetery. And we're going to go look at this cemetery next, or in a bit. So that's a lot of information. Just click, click. Casualties and a name. So it also said suggested records, I thought. Okay, let me go back. I thought there was another thing for him. See, none of that's him. Okay, wait a minute. I'm looking for World War I, World War II casualty listings. Okay, I'm apparently not finding the particular collection that I found yesterday, so I'm just going to move on. In Ancestry, again, if you're more specific, you can go right to the card catalog. And this is where you get into more specific things, like if you wanted a particular war, you could type in the keyword. You could do all the filters, or you could just glance through these. I'm going to filter by USA, But if you're from another country, you don't know what you'll find. But you can just go through this list and see what looks interesting. The death file, let's see. U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs. Well, I'm not going to take any more time here. I'll try this a different way. And again, there's various ways to get to the same thing. I'm just going to type in the ancestor's name again. Because it should come up with, okay, this is the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs BIRLS death file. And I do not know what BIRLS means. Do you, Lorna? It doesn't, come right to me. But this is the Veterans Affairs death file. And this shows his death date. Enlistment, discharge, birth, and death. So if you didn't know his death date, there's another source for that. And again, this is Ancestry on the right, suggested records. Doesn't necessarily have to be about military, but all sorts of other things that are in here.
Okay, I know what it stands for.
Oh, what?
It's the beneficiary identification records locator subsystem.
Okay,
So that will give
nice
you
to know.
another relationship.
Yeah. Okay. The next section is federal census records. And the federal census, there are 3 federal censuses that show some military information. I looked and looked for my ancestors on any of these and only found one. But in the 1840, now remember 1840 only has the head of household and then check marks for, females, males, certain ages, whatever. They're supposed to be on page 2 of the 1840 census, and you can hit the right arrow and go to the next page. There's supposed to be the name of the pensioner for the Revolutionary or a military service on that page. I've yet to find that.
It's only as good as the information that was written down.
That's true. So you're in luck if you find it, but I haven't found any. In the 1910 U.S. Federal Census, column 30 shows whether the person is a survivor of the Union or Confederate Army. And in 1930 census, the column 30 just shows whether they are a veteran. And I have found that. And speaking of census, we're going to look at the special census of 1890. Now, the 1890 federal census was lost, but the special census collections do survive. So under my search button, now I want to go to the census and voter lists. And scroll down, narrow by category. I want the U.S. Federal Census Collection, not the UK or Canada. So I'll go to that. I'm going to keep scrolling down this page all the way down. The featured data collections, 1890 Veterans Schedule of the U.S. Federal Census. Make sure I got that right. Yes. And again, I'm going to type. Are you glazed over yet?
No.
Okay. I told my husband I can't guarantee. Oh, that's lovely. This page is temporarily unavailable.
You
No.
refresh it, yeah,
Or-
it'll be there.
Okay, there we go. Okay, so this is this special 1890 veteran schedule. And I've typed in my great-grandfather, and I know he lived in Woodstock, Vermont, so I know it's that first one. So I'm going to view the record. And again, sometimes you can view the original. If you want to see the original, it's kind of cool to look at, or you can just get the information from here. But this gives his residence, the enlistment and discharge, his regiment again, and the company, and how long he was in service. So some of this information we found already for him, but this is just another place to corroborate. Where are you? Right up here. So, and that's just in the census. That's the special schedule for 1890 in the town of Woodstock. So that's kind of cool. Okay, the Grand Army of the Republic is for the Civil War. We're going to stay on Ancestry. I'm going to go down to the card catalog this time. I'm going to filter on the left with military. And USA. Iowa. Let's see if it comes up. And I don't see anything right at the top, so I'm going to type in Grand Army. Not Armsy. Oh, it was at the top, right there at the top. Okay. Okay, so there, when I typed the keyword, it just came up by itself. So that's it. So you can go searching through the list, or you can narrow it down. And again, I'm going to type my ancestor's name, or my husband's. Oops. Uh-oh, I hit my caps lock. And then again, that's all I did was his name. And those are all the same record. But they're different information because they were recorded at different times because he was a member. So it's like a year, you know, like we do here, you renew every year or whatever. On the third one, let's see, the third record, and again, I looked at all of these, so I know that the third record has some good information. Come on, look up. And I'm going to click on the image because I want to see it. Because this one has his wife and children, and his mother and father, and the others didn't necessarily have that. So it was worth it to look at all the cards to find even when he died, where he's buried, what cemetery, his enlistment and war record. So a lot of cool. It's Monticello. It's Steve's. Yeah, it's my husband's great-grandma.
Okay.
Wait,
I didn't
great,
realize you
two
Okay.
greats. Yeah. Yeah, Steve Finken and I have talked
Yeah, I'm
about
sure
it.
you have.
Yes, because they're buried in Monticello.
Yes.
Yeah, we've been there.
Cool.
Yep. Oh, really?
Yeah,
Well, I'm sure they knew each other then.
we have a lot over there. A lot of
Yeah.
them. We do.
Oh, the crop. Oh my gosh, they had like a list this long of boys. So there's a lot of them. Well, Steve's grandma is the crop, so it's his
Right. Yes.
his dad's mother.
His dad's mom. Yeah.
My Steve.
Yeah, you're Steve,
My
not
Steve.
Steve Hankin.
Right. Okay. Yeah, you never know. So that one was pretty easy and gives a lot of information. And again, you can go to whatever state. You know, this was just Iowa I showed you, but any state. The Revolutionary War rolls, I'm going to look on Ancestry. Search, again, military. I'm just going to type the name this time. Oh, shoot, I was doing. Yeah. And you never know. You can just type a name, or you can filter it down, or whatever. So I know this
Sometimes
is
if you filter though.
you don't get what you want.
Correct.
Yeah. So you can filter too much. So I know this is my guy. And is that what I wanted? No, I wanted the war rolls. That's not what I wanted. But there's another source of information, the Sons of the American Revolution. I was looking for war rolls. Soldier, veteran, and prisoner war rolls. I'm still not getting it. Oh, I didn't. Okay. I'm getting all the same thing. Okay. Oh, Massachusetts soldiers and sailors. All right. I'm gonna filter and see if it helps. Oh, no, Massachusetts. There we go. So this is what I wanted. The Massachusetts U.S. soldiers and sailors in the Revolutionary War. And there's Captain Moses Montague. And again, here's a nice description of the regiment and of him. This doesn't have a physical description, but it's got who he served with and his length of service, and South Hadley, so we know he's from South Hadley. So that one didn't have quite as much information. Okay, the pay vouchers. I'm going back to family search. And I don't want Iowa. This is crazy. Okay, so this is just the military page, United States military. And I want, sorry, I gotta go back there. I want North Carolina, so I'm gonna scroll down so I can get to the state. Where are you? Okay. No, not North Dakota. I need to stop using my finger. North Carolina, okay. I'm gonna go to the Revolutionary War, because we're already at North Carolina military records, but I want Revolutionary War. And I want pay vouchers, okay. There, it's the first one, online resources, North Carolina Revolutionary War pay vouchers. And it looked like there was even a little blurb about how to use the collection. And again, I'm just going to type my ancestor's name. I'm going to just hit the search and see if he comes up. Yep. I know this is where he's from. That doesn't happen very often when you just get one result. Like that's the only one you can click on. That was it, you know. Yeah. And I liked to see this original image when it comes up. There we go. It says State of North Carolina, the district, 14th of July, On the record, it'll have the year, I don't know, September 17th. Claimed by the Board of Auditors, allowed 13 pounds, 17 shillings. So that's how they did it back then. Essential information. This says 1782. I wouldn't have been able to figure that out. I have no idea. Maybe it was, yeah. Because obviously it was scanned that way. I've lost my place, so the pay vouchers, okay.
Been found.
Bounty land, what?
And censorship. There's certain things you can't read.
Oh, like in the birth books when they black out the illegitimate
Right.
children? Yeah,
Seems to be walking out a word in each place.
yeah. Okay, now we're back on fold 3 and I want bounty land warrant applications. So I'm gonna get rid of, this is gonna be a different war, so I'm gonna get rid of all these. I want the War of 1812, and it's not up here right away, so see all. War of 1812, okay. And on this one, I'm looking for the publication. U.S. Bounty Land Applications. Okay, I'm a little lost here, sorry. I wonder if it'll come up. Okay, bounty land warrant applications. So you had to do a little bit of searching here. I'm going to do the name. No, that didn't work. There we go. No results. Okay. Oh, I was wrong name. Sorry. Try that. This one's a little trickier. Okay. It was there yesterday. We will not worry about that. We are going to go on, otherwise we'll be here all day. Okay. So you would not think about yearbooks when you think about military research. But this is what I found. Ancestry.com, home. Let's go here. Under search. All collections. When you hit all collections, you get a lot of stuff back here. So on the right side, in the sidebar, down till I get to schools, directories, and church histories, and that's a heading because it's in bold. If I click on that, narrow by category, school lists and yearbooks.
Just refresh it. It's been acting up all day.
Thank you. I figured my nightmares from last night are coming true. Okay. All right. This is cool. Typing the name. It's thinking. Okay. Now, in this one, oh, wait a minute. Okay. I need to do this different. Now let's go back. I need to find him in my tree first. There he is. It's helpful if you already have a tree, then this will come up, you know, if you type a name, and it'll give you a list of the people already in your tree, and you can just click on it, which is what I'll have to do for this particular one. These are results that are already in my tree. So there's U.S. school yearbooks. And lo and behold, in his school yearbook, long after he graduated, not long, but after he graduated, he's in a memorial page in his high school yearbook for the three soldiers from that high school that died in World War I. And the 3 gold stars in LaSalle's Peru's service flag are in commemoration of these 3 young men who once came to our school as students and left it sooner or later to render their lives as the supreme sacrifice on the altars of democracy. And there's, here he was an athlete. He was a member of the class of 1905 when he enlisted and where. He won medals as a sharpshooter. I never would have known that. So this was in a yearbook. He was sent to France. So this was a really nice find. And you will find out in a little quickly that many of the high school yearbooks in 1945 included pages and pictures of the young men and women who were in service. So we'll see those in a bit. Yeah, buried the next day, and his grave is near the summit of Mont Blanc. Killed the first day of his 4th fight by a fragment. So just in that yearbook, there's that amount of information. Okay, additional sources. I'm going to just, because of the time, I'm going to show you the most interesting ones. I'm going to click ahead to, I'll go away. It's covering my tabs.
What led you to the yearbook site, just searching everything that was listed, or?
All collections.
All collections, and then schools and churches as a collection, and then under that, the category was yearbooks. Or, oh, to here?
Search out everything you could?
Mm-hmm, yes, with a name, yep.
You didn't have any information to.
His name, and I knew he died in World War I, and I knew where he was from. Okay, how do I get rid of this little guy up here? Okay, I guess we're gonna have to go down here. Okay, I better show you this one. I'm gonna get all off. The National Archives is the first one on your additional sources. That is very tricky, but if you want to spend some time, you can find things. So I won't go over it today, but it is the National Archives, and that's the place that you can order. You can see what they have, and then you have to order it from them. You're not going to see it online. You have to actually get it from the National Archives. So service records and things like that. The Library of Congress Digital Collections is the next one on there. That's just really interesting. There's, I'll show you. Went to the Library of Congress, went to Topic, went to War and Military, and all kinds of collections from different wars and different people. So it's just interesting. It's not going to lead necessarily to somebody in your family, but I'm going to get rid of the National Archives. The Daughters of the American Revolution. This is a really, I mean, if you have ancestors in the Revolutionary War, you should really go to this one. So at the top, how do I make that big again? I hope that's right. There we go. Genealogy, it's right at the top. And under genealogy, research, you can read all these. This is interesting too, but I'm going to look for an ancestor. So ancestor search. And you fill in the parameters there. I'm going to look for, last name first. Oh. And all I put in was his name and where he's, the state he's from. And I hit the search. And so these are, I know this is him because I know that he lived in Lebanon. And these are the people that have joined the DAR with this ancestor. So supporting documents available, descendant lists available for this member and this ancestor. So you can click to open it. I know Joel is in my tree, it's his son. There's information, birth, death, information down here. Again, you just have to do some searching. It's description. Again, birth and death. So
That's interesting, weird firearms.
yeah,
Which probably would be very valuable.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
of course, I'd like to know how to get rid of this. I don't know how to get rid of the black bar up there because it keeps hiding my stuff. But okay, Find a Grave also is another good source of information if someone has put it on there. So yeah.
Yeah.
And if you have information that you know, you can
Right.
ask them to edit it, which they will. So 1744. I'm just going to search with his name and year born and see if it comes up. Yeah. This is him. It's my 7th great-grandfather, I think. And this one has his parents, who he was married to, and he was in the Revolutionary War. That's all it says. So I know that. And also his stone has the military stone. So there again, that's some good information. This is nice too. This is the American Battle Monuments Commission. This site is on your list. And my great-granduncle who died in France is in here. Just put his name in. Did not work. Enter last name. That was my problem. I can't read directions. Now that's World War II. I wanted World War I. Again, I'm not doing something right.
It's his fault. He said he-
Right.
you know,
Oh, in World War I or World War II are honored.
Right.
Okay, I'm going to try the advanced. Well, I'll just tell you, I know he's there. I don't want to take any more time. I definitely want to get to newspapers, so we're gonna, again, skip ahead. The newspaper archive costs money, but we are working to get that here at this library right now. Newspapers.com, you can access with an Ancestry membership. If you don't have one, you can come here and we'll help you look here. Chronicling America is from the Library of Congress. And if you have lots of time, it takes a while to find things in there, but you can. But it's very, very huge. It's a huge collection. So I'm going to go right to cities and towns in Iowa, Iowa historical newspapers. So if your ancestor lived in Iowa, and this is by counties and towns. So I'm going to go to Jones County. And if you need to know your, too fast. The years your ancestors or what you're looking for and the town, because obviously this is Anamosa, there's Cascade. I want Monticello, so I'm going down to the Monticello papers. And it takes me to the Monticello papers. I know that I want George again.
Can I just comment?
Yes,
something?
please, yeah.
The Anamosa Library has more scanned in than
Oh.
what did I just say? Did I say Monticello or Anamosa?
And
The Anamosa
Mosa?
Library, where the Jones County
Yeah.
Genealogy Center is located, has more scanned in for that.
what's here?
Particular newspaper than the Monticello Library does.
Okay.
Just FYI.
Yeah, did everyone, if you didn't hear that, she's saying the Anamosa Public Library has more scanned papers than this for Monticello,
Correct.
than what's here. So I'm gonna see if this comes up, because
Well, you have to pay.
229.
Yeah, you pay to play.
They got it.
Okay. Yeah, he died in 1929, so I'm gonna assume this is it. It says Civil War vet died. This is a nice article. I've got a paper copy of it, thankfully. If it loads, it typically loads slow. See, it's on the front page.
Oh, wow.
So Civil War vet died Sunday. It has where he was born, when he, just a really, really nice lengthy article about a Civil War vet.
Yeah.
So his marriage, his all kinds of information. So that's really cool. I keep saying really cool, but this stuff is all really cool. It is really cool to me because
Yes.
these are our ancestors that lived a long time ago, and you know that we can find these things is just amazing. The Cedar Rapids Public Library. Where are you, Cedar Rapids? Okay. There we go. The Cedar Rapids Public Library also has digitized papers for the area, and I happen to know that this article starts with, oh, in this one, make sure that you click the exact phrase. Otherwise, if you put in a name like John Smith, it's going to give you every John and every Smith. So I put exact phrase. I know this particular article started with Sergeant. And I know it was, let's see if it comes up though, because it was 1944. Maybe I'll try that. Oops.
Check the spelling.
Oh, thank you. Hello? Okay. Then it changed my year. We'll just do that. Well, I hate to tell you, Cedar Rapids, but I know it's there. Oh, 40. Let me try that. Okay. Oh, that's because they didn't use his first name. They just did his last name. So you kind of have to, yeah. Okay. See, this is from the Gazette in 1944. And,
Saving space.
You can know too much sometimes.
yep. And it's got his picture and, because he won the Legion of Merit. So, there we go. Gives his information about the citation and the medal and when he enlisted and, well, what he did in this country and where he went before he went overseas and his parents' name, which is Mr. and Mrs. I mean, really,
Whoa, sorry.
that's okay. So, that's nice. And that's in the Cedar Rapids. Again, you can access this from the public library. This is the digital archives of the Cedar Rapids Public Library. Okay. Museums, okay, another place for information, museums, historical and genealogical societies such as ours, history centers. I encourage you, if you haven't already, to visit the Gold Star Military Museum at Camp Dodge in Johnston, Iowa. They also have service record cards, and you can ask them. They will give you a copy. I found them there. Local VFW and American Legion organizations are other sources. Here in the library, I'm just going to show you a few things. You have a list here in your handout, but I'd like to share. Okay, get out of here. No, I want to share. There we go. Okay, these are some examples of some of the things we have in the library. This is just a listing of what we have on microfilm that relates to military. And this is a roster of, or abstract of graves of Revolutionary War patriots. And we have 4 volumes of this. And in it, it shows, let's see, where's my guy? George Vaughn, he's buried at the Old Cemetery in Green, Middleborough, Massachusetts. Not sure what the number means. Yeah. Again, it gives the no years, but just where they're buried. This is nice Marion High School yearbook. This is In memoriam, World War II, Marion High School reveres its graduates who made the supreme sacrifice. So here's a listing of those who died in World War II. And then these are people who served, their picture and their name. There's several pages in this particular yearbook. And there are a couple women in there, one. And they're named at the bottom of the page. You can't see it. You can't see it here. County history books have military information. So this is the history of Cedar County. And it has the war record of Cedar County. And it goes by all the companies and all the infantries and the names of everybody in them. Okay, I'm trying to make it big. So it's enlisted and discharged dates. And then this one has a little more information, residence, their age, where they live, where they were born, enlisted and mustered out, and where, and what company and infantry. We have several volumes of this on our shelves in the library. The roster and record of Iowa soldiers in the War of the Rebellion. And here's George again, George Kropp, age 20, Clayton County, Nativity, Pennsylvania, when he enlisted and mustered out. And I believe this is a brother. They enlisted the same day, but he died of a disease before he even left the country, which happened a lot. This is Gold Star Men of Lynn County by town in memoriam. So these are the people. Here's all Cedar Rapids, Kenwood Park, Marion, Mount Vernon, Central City, Center Point, Fairfax, Paris, Springville, Coggan, Viola, Walker, Troy Mills, Toddville, and Robbins. So there might be somebody you know in there, Carl. This is, I believe, the honor roll. Yeah, this is the honor roll of Lynn County. So these are nice with a picture and where they were born, who their parents are, when they volunteered or when they enlisted, and what they did. Motor trunk unit in France, this guy. Infantry in France. So where they're from, and even where they're born. This guy was born in Lima. So a lot of information, and the picture, which is really nice.
Really nice.
Some people have never seen a picture of their ancestor like this. This is a list of ex-soldiers, sailors, and Marines living in Iowa, and it shows their rank and where they live.
So are
There's
those
George Kropp.
in your electronic database?
Nope, they're
So
on the
this-
shelf.
yes,
These are books on
okay.
the shelf.
Thank you for clarifying.
Yeah, books on the shelf. Yeah, we have an extensive library of military books. This picture is on the wall by the big printer in the library. Company H, 24th Iowa Infantry. Again, wonderful picture. One of the DAR lineage books. We have many, many of those books. And again, you look in the index. This is my ancestor, George Vaughn of Middleborough, Massachusetts. And this is a lady in the DAR, and this is how she got into DAR. She traced her ancestry through these people. So another source. That's another honor roll of Lynn County from World War I. Again, parents, where he was born, went to Coe College. That's World War I, II, I'm pretty sure. I think. World War II newspaper clippings kept on the military shelf. So this is an index. Soldiers' discharge records that are on microfilm. So again, this is an index. Here's a book, the Service Record Book of Men and Women of North English, Williamsburg, and Marengo, sponsored by the VFW North English, Williamsburg, and Marengo posts. World War II service record. And this is Cornell College, 1946, in the Royal Purple. And they have listed killed and missing in action. So I would also suggest, if you really like a nice tutorial on military research, to check on YouTube. Genealogy TV with Connie Knox does some nice ones. Do you have any well, Family Search has a YouTube channel too. There's a lot of information to find. Does anyone have any suggestions or comments or?
I just have an observation.
Okay, Jan has an observation.
With the American, or the African American Museum, now having Family Search licensure or designation
Okay.
is probably more appropriate. Would they have, from the standpoint of the 10 Million Names Project and colored military, a larger access or connection than you would? I mean, are you
If
both?
it's Family Search,
Yeah,
yeah, there are for colored troops
Right.
and African Americans on Family Search.
from my perspective, sending them here,
I don't know.
okay, I'll ask, I'll check down there.
Yeah,
I just don't wanna send people down, I mean,
yeah, I think I would go there to, how do I get everybody back? Oh,
you did an
Gallery.
amazing amount of research, Ruth. That was excellent.
thank you.
It really was.
Thank you. Sorry it took so long.
Oh,
No,
It's-
not at all.
And there's, thank you, Daphne. And there's, like I said, there's different ways to get to the same thing, like draft registrations are all over. But it's ongoing, for sure,
Oh, yeah. Yes.
for sure.
well, and that partnership that was announced with NARA and Ancestry, and the additional transcription and electronic record posting that they're gonna be doing should make, again, more
Yeah.
records available to us.
Yes, should. Anyone on Zoom have any questions or comments? You can unmute yourself so we can hear what you're saying.
I would just want to tell everybody if they have any, well, I saw your name, the crop name from Clayton
Yeah.
County.
Yeah.
Elkader Genealogical Library has a huge collection of Civil War books that a gentleman from California sent his collection, and it's all the Iowa from that area. So you might find something up there.
Okay, she said Elkader Genealogical Society has a large collection of Civil War books that were donated from somebody in California. That's good to know.
It's wonderful.
That's wonderful.
Thank you so much also for offering Zoom. This has just been fantastic and just wonderful to learn more of where we can find archives and information about our families. So thank you so
Good.
much. Appreciate
Well,
your
thank you.
expertise.
I'm glad you could join us.
Yes, thank you.
I suppose some of you would like the handout. I didn't think of that. I could have put it as a document and sent it to them.
Now,
You said that.
yeah,
But I wouldn't have their emails.
As long as they're connected, if you can send it.
But I don't have it.
Oh, you won't
oh,
have
you
to.
don't have it
No.
in an
Okay.
file.
All right.
It's on my desktop computer.
If they would
If they
send
want
me
to.
their
You know, if
email.
anyone wants a handout, I'm sorry I didn't prepare enough ahead of time here to get it on this computer so I could send it to you. If you would like one, shoot us an email at our library address, email address, the AOL, and I can send it to you. I can send you a PDF or a Word document.
I would love one.
Okay, it has all the website addresses and additional sources and.
Very nice, very nice.
I would like one also.
I'm getting suggestions here on how I can add it to the recording.
Well, not
I-
to
no.
recording, but to post it on the website.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh,
right.
okay,
If nothing else, you could add it in comments and then reference that in the post.
okay, I can do that. Okay, well, I think we're going to stop here. I thank you again for participating and watching and hope you learned something, and now you have your homework. Lots of it, and if we won't do anything in June, but hopefully we'll see you in July.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Ruth.
You're welcome.
Good job, Ruth.